Hi, I'm Parker Nichols. I'm the owner and founder of Vermont Wildwoods and really happy to be here.
I'd love to start by having my next guest, Parker Nichols, from an amazing business called Vermont Wildwoods. Now, many of you may not have heard about Vermont Wildwoods, and you're going to learn a lot about what spalted wood is. But I'd love to share your story, Parker, not just you yourself, but that of Vermont Wildwoods. Tell us how you got here today.
For starters, I'm excited to be here today. And my journey is one that is pretty lucky. It's a lifelong journey. I grew up in Vermont on 200 acres of some of the finest sugar maple land in the world. And as a kid, I would watch our logs get cut down and put on the roadside. And I'd come home from school at the end of the day, and the logs were gone. And I was always a little pissed off. I was like, "Why does somebody else get our wood?" And my dad taught me two things as a little boy: good forest management and how to hunt wild mushrooms. And spalted wood is the synthesis of those two things. What you see behind me on this spalted lamp right here, those black lines are the chemical reaction between two competing fungi that are breaking down any wood to try to make it back into soil. And so, what I did as a kid is I learned how to cut good wood, and I realized I was really into it. And so, I went and started a business in New York City going door to door with samples. And one day somebody said, "Hey, we've got a client that loves spalted wood. Do you think you can find some?" I found it, and the client took all I had, and then they came back and said, "We'd like more." And I said, "Well, I don't have any more." And he said, "Well, go find it." So I've been on a 13-year journey to create this product. And in that journey, we have grown this product from something that has been coveted for centuries, but been a found forest gem. And we're the first company to actually farm it, and we now have the world's largest supply at around 1.5 million square feet of inventory, and it's growing fast.
Amazing. So for the A&D community, spalted wood, we're all learning as part of this process. And for those of you who may not know, we now have found the single largest source globally for this amazing product. Parker, I want to dig in. When you go through and you're going through and curating and actually producing this spalted wood, where is this actually being installed? Share with us a range of the actual end installations where this product is going.
What I realized when I've got those first customers is that people at the highest levels were really interested in this product. And we've done installations for anthropology retail stores, Nordstrom's retail stores, JP Morgan Chase, Pokemon, GitHub, Amazon, Helly Hansen, and Chipotle is our biggest customer. We've probably done 600 of their restaurants, and we've also done them in the Middle East as well for them. So we're just thrilled at the caliber of brands that are interested in us, and we hope that folks who are watching this video will also become one of our happy customers, because we're bringing a new wood product to the industry that has not been done in decades, and it's truly something that a lot of big brands are finding to be really exciting.
No, I was blown away. I was reviewing just to prepare for this some of the leads that you're mentioning, and the companies that you mentioned were amongst the list that have ordered. I, how has Material Bank changed the way that your business operates? And then let's go one step before that. How did you hear about us? How did you connect with Material Bank in the first place?
Well, that's a good question. Material Connection was the first place I was featured in, and it was early on with another product I had, and I was put in the market tabloid of Interior Design Magazine. They found me, and I got 500 reader response cards, and I was like, "Oh my God, what do I do? This is amazing!" But I really was like a young lion. I didn't quite have my claws sharpened, so I didn't know how to close the deals. But through Material Connection and Andrew Dent, there became a friend. I learned about Material Bank, and how Material Bank has changed things for us is we're a small company. I used to be a solo proprietor, but we've really grown. And I used to send out, one or two samples a week. And since we have joined up with Material Bank, we've sent out over 1,400 samples, and that is growing all the time. And so it's really been a game changer and allowed us to have access to projects all over the country that, while we would have been a great fit for them, we would just have never found them.
You're meeting lots of new architect and design firms. Share with me some of the customers that you have that have actually been the ones who've specified you, what maybe discovered you on Material Bank as a result of you joining.
We've are really excited to have just completed a job with Amazon for one of their corporate campuses. And we did with spalted maple plywood. We did a bunch of the common areas and elevator lobbies. We're super excited to see the finished samples, and they'll be up on the website when we're done. And Helly Hansen, the outdoor retailer, has selected also our spalted maple plywood to fit out their stores for their new branded look for the actual stores. So we would have never found those clients if it was not for Material Bank. So it's an amazing tool, and we're just thrilled to be using it.
Thank you for those kind words. I mean, it's very, very appreciated. Our mission at Material Bank is to give all of our brand partners, just like yourselves, an advantage over any brands who are not on Material Bank. And part of the interest and the learning that we get from this process is to learn what business was like and what your strategy was before Material Bank. So, I mean, I'm personally very curious to learn, where else do you spend for finding leads? Where else do you spend on internet advertising, trade shows? And I know you described yourself as a small business, but boy, it sounds like you're moving from a small business to actually possibly a medium-sized business, if we're being humble here and describing that accurately.
Yeah, well, it is an exciting moment. Yeah, we are growing, and we're growing pretty quickly. But to be honest, Material Bank is our initial foray into digital marketing, and I don't I know there are a lot of other channels out there, and I'm looking forward to learning about them. But so far, we got all our eggs in your basket, and for the ROI on this, I couldn't be happier with the investment for us right out of the gates. We were just thrilled, and I've mentioned some of the wins we've already gotten. There's some ones that are even bigger than that are in the works, and so I have no question that this is always going to be at the center of our digital marketing, spend.
So, without sharing the exact names, because you haven't won those other ones yet, give me a little description in terms of the types of companies that could exist.
Well, it's at the highest levels of hospitality, the highest levels of automotive. These are really big heavy hitters that are coming around, and they have the budget and the ability to buy whatever they want. And they're looking at us, and while we haven't closed those deals, they're saying you are our first choice. And so it's really exciting. And those opportunities would not have been possible without Material Bank.
That's incredible. Now, this community is really interested in learning about the story of sustainability behind each and every company. I'd love if you would just share your story. Obviously, an incredible product. I mean, you are at the heart of this industry. Tell us a little bit about the sustainability aspect.
Sure. Well, obviously, nobody needs to be talking today about whether sustainability is something we all need to be really doubling down on. And so for us, we're in the tree cutting business. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, you're cutting trees. What's your reforestation policy? And here in the North Country, every time you cut a tree in the forest, you leave an opening in the canopy about 60 to 80 feet wide. And that allows the sunlight to bathe the forest floor, and that the seedlings that are there are photo activated, and so with every tree you cut, it is auto reforesting itself at a rate of about 50 to 100 saplings racing to fill that canopy space. So it really is a very different situation than in the Pacific Northwest with clear cutting on steep slopes. But we also are all of our inputs are 100% organic, 100% natural, and 100% local. They're Vermont trees, and they're Vermont mushrooms that literally came off of my family's farm where I grew up, and I propagated them out into a gigantic mushroom farm. And every time we take our logs, when they're ready to be harvested, to the sawmill, there is zero waste. The sawdust, the wood chips, and the bark all go into the regeneration of the next iteration of our inoculum to age these logs. Think like cave aging cheese or barrel aging whiskey. And when we've wrung out all of the mushroom mycelium we can out of it, we then ship our wood chips to organic farms to be used to be put into their compost pile. So we generate zero waste. Obviously, then we have to create products that we're shipping to designers all over the country, and we do two things. Whenever possible, we try to double up orders to ship in one crate, and we also are very specific about asking them, what exactly do you need? So we ship you exactly what you need, and we don't ship you any more.
Incredible story. Absolutely incredible. Look, a lot of the A&D community may not know about you guys. This is a very unique offering, and certainly one that's got a very compelling story. So we want to encourage this community to come to Material Bank. We want them to search for you, but we also want them to go to your own website as well. So if you go to the website, it's vermontwildwoods.com. And if you come to Material Bank, you're going to click on the brands tab. You're going to go to Vermont Wildwoods. What should they take a look at on your page on Material Bank to learn a little bit more?
Two things. One is a video of the origin story of what is this stuff, and it walks somebody through the woods from a three-story Japanese pagoda that I built in the forest where this origin story started, and from there, go hit the shop button. Because what we've created is a digital online e-commerce platform that has a photographic inventory of 130 of our current 4x8 paperback veneer sheets. And the reason we're so excited about this is because, well, you could buy a sheet of plywood from us. You'd have to put it in a crate and like it'd be 300 pounds and really bulky and expensive. And by offering the paperback veneer sheets, you can go and each one is an individual lot. And that's the actual one you're going to pick. Whether you want a book match pattern or a random match pattern, you can pick that and then pay for it right then and there. And we'll put it in a cardboard box and send it to you the next day. So it allows for people who are wanting to either do a one of a kind project or the beginning of a program to zero in on what you really want. And then from there, we can build out a bigger program like with Chipotle. With them, we send 10,000 square feet at a clip, but it started with one sheet.
Yeah, I understand that you're utilizing the business intelligence dashboard and some of our data sets. Super curious how a business like yours, which really doesn't go out to obtain leads in any other source, as you said, you have all of your eggs in one basket, which we like that, by the way. Warren Buffett says, put all your eggs in one basket and just watch it closely. When you go through, tell us how you utilize the data to actually help you in running the business.
Sure. Well, our eggs are all in your basket, but I've been doing this so long that I started before the internet. And I literally was a calling architect. So I was like, hi, this is who I am. You should really want to meet with me. And someone would say, oh, wow, okay, I will. And, that was old school cold calling. But now with the Material Bank brand analytics overview, we can see geographically where are those people targeting us. And we're seeing Texas, California, New York, Chicago, and so we're like, okay, wow, we're not going to worry about Detroit or Miami because the dashboard is telling us go to Chicago because they love you. And then when you get there, the Material Bank weekly flash emails gives us the breakdown by industry. So it's like when you go to Chicago, if you're going to do an old school boots on the ground sales trip, go to Chicago and focus on the brands that are doing hospitality and retail. And so those are powerful tools, and we're planning our upcoming sales trips on that very data. So it's not just the leads that are helpful to us.
Parker, on behalf of the entire team at Material Bank, I want to thank you, your team, and we are certainly here to work with you as partners. We appreciate all of the support. And here's to the next 10 years with Vermont Wildwoods.